All right, let's continue our understanding of what a call option does, and that's where we can easily understand the put option later. So let's talk about exercising an option. Remember when I showed you earlier, there's this particular button called exercise. That's because I have the particular option, which is a 430 call. And right now, if I exercise the option, I can buy $430. Okay, I can buy the shares at $430 and I buy 100 of those shares. So let me show you that there is a button called exercise and we have the rights to do so. It's not just a theory, okay, it's a real life thing. So the question is this. So if we have a 430 strike price meta shares, if we exercise the call, it means that we can purchase 100 shares at 430. Our call option will disappear and it will be replaced by 100 shares. So what it means is this. Now you can see our portfolio right now, there's a meta option, call option. When it disappears, the position will become 100 shares. So 100 shares, you'll not see this December 430 call. You just see a meta ticker symbol. So, for example, Amazon, I have some shares, 26 shares. Got it? Okay. So now, the question is this. Should we really exercise an option? Options trader, we don't really exercise our options. Instead, we buy and sell options to make the money. Just now, you can mention, as you can see, this option is already making profits. Okay, now it's 1,005. Okay, so it's making like cash just from buying the option and then we can sell it. So how do I sell it? You may be curious. 3 buttons here, click, you can just sell the options. I have it, I can sell it. Close and sell is the same actually, okay? So close is now I have the position, they call it, these are the positions that I'm holding. I can close the position. So it is important to understand that when you exercise option, it is not really worth it. Okay, I'll explain to you in a moment's time, okay? So I explain to you, we won't necessarily buy, when we buy the 430 option, right, we don't have the intention of actually buying the shares. Whenever I buy the options, I never ever want to exercise and buy the shares. Remember this very, very clearly. We buy the option because we think that the share price will go up. And when it goes up, our call option value goes up. That is the real thing. We do not exercise the option. So if you buy shares, your goal is to buy low and sell high. When you buy options, your goal is to buy options low and sell options high. That's it. We do not exercise and then convert to shares. So now let me show you the example I've written down here. And it's very simple calculation. So if we exercise the option, remember it's a 430 call. If we click on exercise, okay, click here, I click exercise, I click here. What happens is I am buying 100 shares at 430. Means that I have to pay 43,000. And right now, if the shares, okay, I think there's some changes in price. Let's look at the latest price. So if right now, after I buy the shares at 430, I can sell the shares at 463. Is it 463? Okay, here I put 464. It's about the same. Okay, 463. So if I sell it at market price at 463 or 464, I will get 46,400. So this is what I pay minus. This is what I get plus. So this is the amount that I make minus off how much I pay. My profit is 3,400. So but you must remember something. We actually pay 13,000 for this call option. Where does this 13,000 goes to? It disappears. So this 13,000 that I paid initially, if you guys remember, it's gone. This is what I really paid for, the cost basis of this option. So in the end, although I make 3,400, but this 13,000 is not taken back, I actually lost 9,600. The reason is this. When you exercise the option, the value of the options immediately disappear. And the value of the option, later we'll be showing you guys, there's this thing called intrinsic value and extrinsic value. Intrinsic value is basically how much money you can make. Extrinsic value is time value. And if you remember something, my options has 900 days worth of time value. If I click right now, then 900 days disappear instantly. So instead of exercising an option, it's very important for us not to do that. If we want to make profits, we sell the call. Okay, what do I mean by selling the call? Because now we already have the call. We can click here and sell. And if I sell the call, how much do I make? I make $1,500 immediately. Okay, so okay, here, okay, I think the price is a little bit different, but you can see it's 1,500. So which would you rather have? Would you rather have a $9,000 loss or a 1,500 profits? This is a no-brainer. So therefore, do not exercise options at all. Okay, so very quick recap. The call option gives us the right to buy 100 shares. As the shares go up, the value of the option goes up as well, from 13,000 to 14,000 to 15,000. Okay, so what we can do is we can buy the call option and sell the call option, because as the share price goes up, the call value goes up. So this is also the call share price. Okay, so let me give you a very quick example. So in fact, I've already downloaded this is the past options value. So you can see this is the options meta December 18, 2026 options 430 call. This is the exact options that I bought, and this is the options premium over time. So remember, at the 30th of April, I bought the options at 130. And when I bought the options at 130, the share price was about 430. Remember that? Look at my mouse over here, 430. As the share price increased from 430 to 439, okay, to 441, you can see that my options value also increased from, okay, let me just look at the last price of the options here. 126 to 133, 133 to 129 to 138, and it keeps increasing as the share price increase as well. So I actually downloaded it into Excel spreadsheet and I turn it around. Okay, you can see. At that point in time, the share price was 430. The options value was about 126. I bought it at 130, market price fluctuate, and this was the last closing price that day. Now, when the share price increased from 430 to 439, increased by $9, the option value increased by about $7. You can see that from 126 to 133. So it doesn't increase 1:1 with the share price. It does not do that because there's this thing called delta, which we'll be covering later in the few segments. Okay, and you can see another very obvious one is, okay, from 441 to 451, it increased by $10. Share price jumped from 441 to 451. The options value jumped from 129 to 138. It's a $9 jump. It is almost very similar to how the share price will move. So you can see this is the share price. This is the options value. So as the share price, we bought it when it was here. Okay, when the shares dropped, we bought it and then it went up. The share price went up. The options value also went up. But you must remember something. When it went up, the share price went up, I think it was by 7%. Okay, when it went up by 7%, the options value went up by more than that, 11%, 12%. It can be even more if you actually choose the correct options. I'm choosing a very long-term and very fixed option. Okay, so we can actually go up by 50% and even more. Okay, so this is just a very initial start of the whole entire options idea. Got it? So let me come back to here. Now, I want to explain to you the options pricing law. The option price will always include the benefit that it can provide the owner. So what do I mean by that? The benefit is this. Right now, we can buy shares at 430 and we can sell it at market price. The market price is 464. Okay, so again, drawing it on the chart, we lock in at 430. So as the share price increases, the benefit increases. So initially it's 460, you can go up to 500, it increases, it will also increase. So you can see right now it's 464. When you take 464 minus 430, that is 34, correct? That's 34. So I can make $34 immediately per share. 34 times 100 shares, I can make 3,400. So if I use the call option to make $34 profit per share by exercising the option, okay, that's where we can make 3,400. So this $34, right, or this 3,400 must be priced into the options premium. Meaning to say the options premium can never be lower than 3,400. In fact, the options premium just now, as we saw, is about $15,000 or $14,000. Okay, $15,000. So out of this $15,000, okay, or let's take a look at the latest price so that we can be very sure. Okay, it puts the latest price is 15,000, right? 150.64. 150.64. Let me just confirm again. Here the value puts 14. Okay. Okay, no, the last price is 150.64. So if it's 150.64, okay, the options value is 15,000. Okay, here, 150.64. The value is 15,640. This is how much the options is worth right now. And out of this 15,640, 3,400 is what we call the benefit, which is called the intrinsic value. We'll cover that later in the videos, okay, in the lessons. So intrinsic value. If you take 15,000, okay, this is a very simple mathematical calculation. Let me just do it right now. If you take 15,640 minus away this 3,400, there's a 12,240. This is what we call the time value. Remember, there's 900 days worth of options time value. So this 900 days is translated to 12,240. It doesn't mean that every single option there's 900 days, every single stocks like Microsoft or Amazon, it is also 12,000 plus. It differs stock to stock depending on their share price and quite a number of components we'll be sharing with you. Now, I want you to be very excited because every single component that we understand from the options, it gives us the ability to make decisions. Okay. Now, if let's say we're going to buy the shares like or at this price, sell it at this price, it is very simplistic. Simplistic, right? When we play in the market or when we are investing in the market, there's only two choices for us, right? We only can press buy, sell, or go and don't go, correct? But when the options, there's various methods for us to actually optimize. I can tell you it becomes very powerful. It can increase the percentage by 2 to 3% to 10 to 50 to 100%. Okay. So this is what I like about options. So now, as mentioned, call option is always worth the benefit that it provides. So these are just some criteria. Now, the thing is this, I want to share with you that we can also lose money by buying call option. How do we lose money by buying call option? We lose money by buying call option if the share price goes down. Okay, if the share price goes down, and we hold until expiry. Okay, let me give you an example. So the example that I have is here. This is an example. Let me just share with you where I get the example from. So I took another option that has already expired. You take a look at here. This is a Meta 490 call option. The reason why I choose 490 is because right now the Meta share price is 460. I want to choose a strike price that's somewhere here to illustrate a very important point. If let's say by expiry date, this is where your call option is. You lock in the strike price at 490. So you have the rights to buy stocks at 490, but the stocks is actually below 490. So there's no reason why you buy at 490 here and then sell at the market price, right? You might as well do not exercise the option. So at 490, the option is technically worthless when it expires, when there's no more time value. So let me show this. I just draw it out so that we have a deeper understanding of what this whole thing is about. So at the 490 call, with the expiry date to be 10th of May. Now it's already 14th of May, so it already expired. You can see on the 10th of May, the last price is 0.01. It's in fact no more value. Okay, it's gone already. So let me show this. Okay, I've downloaded the Excel spreadsheet, and let me show you this. So initially, right, you can see that this is the share price. It moves up, it moves down. Okay, it moves up to 500. So this was still like 30 days left. You can see day by day, 30 days left. Initially, when the share price move up, the option price value, this is the option value, also moves up. But as it goes nearer and nearer to the expiry date, right, it will start to dip and become $0. So the options is worth 0, but the stock is still worth 476. Can you see? 476. So this is the downside of the options. The downside of the option is once it expires, it's worth nothing. Where else the stock can continue on and on and on. There's no expiry date. So it's important for us to know this because later when we choose options and we want to get out of options, we want to actually buy, we want to sell, we have to make sure we do not wait until it's totally expired, especially if we are holding on to an option. Okay, Ken? So as mentioned, the shares, right? Okay, if let's say it drops by a certain amount and then it let's say past the expiry date, right? The options can become 0, but the stock price won't go to 0. Okay, so this is an example. So I do hope that you understand more about exercising a call, why we shouldn't exercise it. You do understand that the time value is also very important. We should go in more details. And in the next video, right, we'll be talking about risk graph. It will be the next step for you to understand all about options. I'll see you in the next video.